Happy New Year. We're starting the year with the one question that defined 2025. Who gets to be called an American? Over the last 12 months, we've seen executive orders, Supreme Court showdowns, and a fundamental shift in how we define belonging. Let's dive in. Kaylee, Reagan, welcome.
Happy New Year, Thomas. But let's be honest, 2025 was the year we finally stopped pretending that our borders are optional. The administration's move to end birthright citizenship was about one thing: the rule of law. Citizenship isn't a participation trophy, it's a covenant.
It's a covenant that you want to rewrite by ignoring the 14th Amendment, Reagan. Happy New Year to everyone, except the families the ACLU is currently fighting for. Thomas, CNN highlighted just last week that ICE is detaining people like Dulce Morales, who have U.S. birth certificates. This isn't about rule of law. It's a targeted erosion of human rights.
Let's ground this in the current legal reality. Kaylee is referencing the Morales case in Maryland. But, Reagan, you're touching on the Supreme Court's decision to finally hear the challenge to birthright citizenship this term. Historically, the 14th Amendment was a post-Civil War guarantee. The question for 2026 is whether that jurisdiction still extends to everyone born on this soil.
Exactly. The American conservative has argued for years that the current practice rests on a false foundation. We cannot be a sovereign nation if we don't control our membership. Even Newsmax reported that the administration is now dramatically escalating denaturalization for those who misrepresented themselves on applications. If you cheat the system, you aren't a citizen. Period.
Cheating the system? Reagan, the BBC reported that legal migrants had their citizenship ceremonies abruptly canceled, simply because they came from travel ban countries. We are weaponizing the idea of a gold card for the rich while punishing those who have lived here for decades. Even legal immigration is being throttled under the guise of security.
Security does come first. After the National Guard shooting in D.C., any responsible leader would pause the influx to review who we are letting in. We've even suspended the green card lottery because it's a security loophole.
You're using a single tragedy to justify mass xenophobia, and you know it. You're pausing refugee applications and Afghan SIVs, while the wealthy just buy their way in.
I'm justifying the safety of American citizens. The Gold Card program has already netted $1 billion in sales. Those are people who actually contribute to our economy instead of draining it.
So citizenship is for sale now? That is the most un-American thing I've ever heard. You're turning the 14th Amendment into a pay-to-play scheme.
Enough. Kaylee, Reagan, stop. We're talking about status as if it's a ledger entry. But look at what we've actually done over the last year. We've turned the concept of home into a battlefield.
We are just trying to protect the definition of being an American, Thomas.
By excluding the very people who make us who we are.
Reagan, you talk about allegiance. Kaylee, you talk about equity. But while you bicker, veterans, people like Julio Torres who bled for this flag, are terrified of being swept up in deportations because of paperwork gaps.
No one wants to see veterans deported, Thomas. That's a failure of the bureaucracy, not the principle.
It's the inevitable result of the crackdown culture you're cheering for.
You're both making powerful points, but while we argue over who deserves to belong, we risk losing sight of what belonging really means. As we stand at the dawn of 2026, it's easy to get lost in the blue versus red of this debate. But citizenship isn't just a document. It is a shared commitment to a set of ideals. Reagan is right that a nation must have rules. And Kaylee is right that those rules must be rooted in justice. The solution isn't found in a $1 million visa or a technicality. It's found in recognizing that the American spirit isn't a finite resource we have to hoard. This year, let's stop asking how do we keep them out, and start asking how do we live up to the promise that brought them here. That is the only way to truly protect our future. I'm Thomas Hale, and this is the Daily Pivot. Subscribe.